Hi guys, welcome back to Fellas Haven. Today we're going to be working on a fleece jacket. I'm going to be using a pattern from Unfettered Patterns. This is the pattern. I put a little bit of some twist of my own in there, but basically I used the pattern for everything. These are all the pattern pieces for the jacket, and I used this beige fleece fabric to make my jacket. I'm a small size, so I used 1.5 meters for the jacket, and the width of the material is also 1.5. These are the pattern pieces. Just read through your pattern markings and cut out your patterns like I did. That is my back, which I cut on fold, and that's how it looks like when you unravel it. And that is the front yoke of the jacket, and these you cut by two separate patterns, followed by the front, which you are also going to cut on fold. And this is how it should look when you cut it on fold. And that is my collar, which you're also meant to cut on fold. And then you will fold it. Just make sure that you mark your notches and everything. That's my cuff. And that is the sleeve for the jacket. So those are all the patterns that I cut out from my fabric. Moving on to sewing, the first pattern pieces that you're going to attach the back and the front yokes. So you attach by the shoulder. You can use whatever seam you want. I was using French seams because I like them, but you can use straight stitch and then overlock, or you can choose to use the French seam, or you can use whatever seam that you want. After joining my shoulders, this is how it looks, and make sure you press after sewing every seam so that your seams are lying flat, and when you're done, your work will look neat. The next pattern we're going to join is the collar, because we want to also join the zip to the collar. So we're going to first work on the collar. That is how I'm just trying to see if it's going to fit through the neckline. So overall it should look something like this after sewing it. The way I joined my collar, I first sew the one end of the collar to the neckline, and then ironed the other end and folded it, covering the raw edges like I am showing in the video, like that. And then just went on and top stitched it to the fabric. After top stitching it, the collar should look something like this. And we move on to the next step, which is attaching the zip. I just pinned my zip to the collar and also the front yoke of the jacket, leaving maybe about, I think it was 1.5 centimeters or an inch rather from the bottom part, so that I will be able to join it using an open seam. After that was done, I just went on to join now the yoke and the front pattern piece of the jacket. Like I said, you can use whichever seam you want to use. And I top stitched it and ironed. That's how it looks. Now we're moving on to joining the sleeves of the jacket. Just make sure that it's all equal. So trim off all those excess materials, and then you join your sleeve using whichever seam that you want. After joining my sleeve, I top stitched it, and we move on to joining the side seams. Now I was using French seams for the whole jacket. I literally used French seams, and do the same with the other side. The twist now is, instead of adding those cuffs that I cut in the beginning, I used elastic because I felt the hands were a little long for me, so I just used elastic instead. And instead of using elastic at the bottom, I also used a casing. And that is it. The pattern was easy to use, and I like how the jacket turned out. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Until next time, see ya.